Hey everybody, it's Doodle. Believe it or not, I haven't been making one of these videos recently / recording them, not because of the heat waves we've been getting where it gets up to like 100 degrees. Yes, that's how it is over here. It's just because I've been in a little bit of a slumpy mood recently, which it doesn't matter to y'all just get the videos whenever I post it, but me recording, I haven't recorded one of these videos in a while. I've just been a little bit down in the dumps recently. I just, my brain just does this sometimes. It's typical. Don't worry, I'm not like endangered. Just some intrusive thoughts and things like that. So yeah, I just haven't really been doing anything the past couple of days. But today I said, you know what, I'm really in the mood to make another My Little Pony tier list video. And I kind of rehearsed it a little while ago, just because I was bored, but now I'm finally out here making a video. I was actually going to hold it off until tomorrow, because it really did look like it was about to rain, and it might, we've been having weird weather recently where it looks like it's going to rain, and then it just doesn't rain. So, yeah, it was sprinkling a little bit a while ago, but now it just stopped, so, hopefully it doesn't start randomly raining in this video, because I don't want you guys to get annoyed with the background music. So, yes. As you guys do not know, this is the Roundup recap Roundup, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter to me. It's one of those videos. So if you guys didn't watch or pay attention to the last videos, basically what I am going to do in this particular video is, as you can see, I've already ranked them all, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back through all of them and rank them more accurately. Because, the thing with my brain is that I can't talk and think at the same time. I am more of a thinker. Say, for example, like, when I did Ghostbusters, when I first talked about it, I ranked it really, really high up. But after I thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's good, but it's not that good. So, a lot of these you guys may be confused because, like, let's say, one of these episodes I put way up there, and an episode that I praised to death when I was talking about it got moved down to, like, let's say a B tier. And you would be wondering, like, oh, why did you move it down so much? You were praising it so much the last video. Well, the thing is, I have this list here of actually how I want to rank them. So this roundup recap will be the most accurate version. What's the point of the other videos then? It's to rank them, it's to talk about them. But, to talk about it with you guys, and, just to talk about it and rank it. It doesn't really get any deeper than that. And also it helps me with my big project I'm going to make later. So what I did with this is, I already have them all ranked, all the episodes of season 1. So what I'm going to do is I have my list here, and I'm going to, move them around. I stated it before, but I just wanted to state it to you guys again. So, yes, just wanted to get that out of the way. Some of these episodes were really hard to rank when I was writing them down, but I think I'm finally satisfied with what I have written here, and I can always change it later when I do my big project, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world if I change my mind later. I had this sat on my brain for a little while, and I think I am finally really proud of, I'm satisfied enough with how I ranked them. Also, the person who made this, and I am so sorry to whoever made this, I keep forgetting to credit them. It just completely slipped my brain, that's all. Just completely slipped my brain. Nothing deeper than that. So I'm going to credit them in the comments. Guys, if you want to make one of these tier lists, check it out. Make your own, make a video like this if you want to, if you have the time on your hands. I have a lot of free time right now, but, you guys are interested in making one of these, I'll leave it in the comments, and I'll make sure I pin it if YouTube doesn't disable my comments. It does that for some videos. I can't really fix it, but yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. And like I said, some of these episodes were, like, really hard to rank. because you guys will see what I mean. So I have my list here. Like I said, I had to think through it. Just can't like I said, just can't talk it through while I'm ranking them how I want them to be ranked. That bird is being really loud. Because again, I can't talk and think at the same time. But after what I would like to call my draft videos, yada yada yada, you guys get what I'm saying. I'm now repeating myself. Let's just get into it. You guys get the purpose. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from S to F. Adding the F was actually really helpful. That's what I was going to say and I forgot. This person who made this tier list didn't add an F. So I'm going to add an F, to... It makes it easier to rank them whenever I add an F. Alright, but let's do that later. Right now, let's start with the S tier. Now, with this video, I'm probably not going to categorize them with each episode. I'm just going to put S, A, B, C, D. That's probably how I'm going to, make chapters for this video instead of ranking it per episode like I've been doing with the, last videos. Now it is starting to storm. So let's go ahead and start this. Okay, so, yeah, you guys get it. Alright. And if you guys don't, you'll get the purpose when this gets released. So let's start with S first. Let's start the best of the best. Let's go to best to worst. If we guys don't like it like this, we can change it for season 2 and season 3. But for now, let's do it like this. Best to worst. Okay, so it's a no-brainer. Like, it's really easy to rank the best and the worst episodes when it starts to get the B and C. That's when I really struggled. So with S, Cutie Mark Chronicles being the very top episode is a no-brainer in my opinion. It's really good. There is no flaws about it, which is surprising since it's a Cutie Mark Crusaders episode. But even with that said, it's just very good. And I love the lore in it. Like I said to you guys, I am a big lore person. I love lore. And I just love how they did that throughout the episode. I love how it's just a really good episode. Lore episodes to any series really is always going to be a very good episode. I'm so sorry if you guys hear wind. It'll calm down in a few minutes. I apologize. But yeah, just the best episode in the whole series. Everything about it is so good. I love how the Rainbow Boom connected everybody. So the Rainbow Dash's Sonic Rainboom isn't just like some pointless show-off thing. It's like actually has meaning to it. I bragged about this episode enough when I reviewed it. It's just the best episode. It's one of the best episodes in the entire series, and it will probably... This episode, I would even argue, would probably be within my top 5 whenever I do my big ranking every My Little Pony episodes through seasons 1 through 3. So that is staying there. Now, this was very hard for me. This is going to also stay where it is. This isn't moving. This was really hard to rank between this is in the Pinkamena episode. Because I actually did put the Pinkamena episode in front of this one to begin with. But I changed my mind. And that is because when I was first ranking these episodes, I was ranking them... Some of them, especially the cult classic episodes, I was ranking them more on how much of a cult classic they meant, how much of a cult classic it was, and how much it meant to the Brony fandom, more than like how it made me feel personally. Now I'll get to this one in a second. Let's talk about this. I don't have much to say about the Rarity Art of the Dressed episode. It's good. It's just a good episode. It's not as good as this. It's a really solid Rarity episode. I like everything about it. You guys should just go watch it. Let's talk about this episode. With this episode, it was like I said, I really had it in front of this episode, but after really thinking about it deeply, some more, this episode is a little bit better. Not much, just a little bit. But the reason why I put the Art of the Dress episode in front of the Pinkamena episode is because I just feel like there's more going on, and it's more fun. Also, this episode is one of the build-up episodes to the Best I Ever episode, of course, like I said, so it's gonna be good. Okay, the wind finally calmed down, thank goodness. Told you guys I would. It would. I am a weather expert. I should be a Pegasus. No, please don't do that. Alright, so this episode, it just has more going on. And that's why I don't also want to make chapter timestamps for each episode, because I feel like a lot of these episodes, it's easier to talk about when I like put them together with another episode. So, what I was trying to say with the Pink Amina episode is that it's good, and you're thinking, well, I'm just simply putting it high up because of the Pink Amina stuff and the impact the Pink Amina stuff had on the Brony fandom, and it's the Pink Amina episode. Not really. Like, I am putting it up there because that's one of the reasons. But also, if you take all the Pink Amina stuff, not out, if you took all the Pink Amina stuff out of the episode, it'd be kind of a boring episode. But if you look at the other stuff along with the Pink Amina episode, it's still a good episode. Because it has build up. Which, that's why I feel like this episode is better than the Pink Amina episode, because most of the Pink Amina episode is just build up. You don't really get to the golden moment within the episode until, like, the later part of the episode. But with this episode right here, it's fun to the beginning to the end. Like, of course, all these episodes have a build up. There's a build up in this episode too, with the dresses, but it's more apparent in the Pink Amina episode, and within the Pink Amina episode, like, it's literally like a build up. It's literally a build up episode. That's literally like what it is, because it's building up in the Pinkie Pie snapping. So it's most of the episode is just like secrets, and it's supposed to be from Pinkie Pie's point of view, and you're supposed to be like, oh, what's going on? Kind of like a mystery episode. And it's not that it makes it boring. Like, this is an S tier episode. Like, it's a great episode. I love it. It's not that the fact that it makes it boring. It's just not as strong as this episode, and, like, besides the Pink Amina stuff, there's not a lot going on. Because, like I said, it's a build-up. So I'm gonna leave that one there. Next, we have Sonic Rainboom, and what I was gonna say with this one is that Sonic Rainboom could have been a really bad episode. Think about it. It's a Rarity and Rainbow Dash episode, and especially with the older seasons of My Little Pony, it's most Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. I'm talking about seasons 1 through 3 standards here, not even talking about the newer episodes. When it comes to Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, they almost always get good episodes. But when you start to get the Applejack and Rarity and Rainbow Dash, it's kind of like it's according. Especially with Rainbow Dash and Rarity. I feel like Applejack has always had good episodes. They're just more on the boring, quote unquote, boring side. Because, she's an Earth Pony and she's really down to earth. And she's not all magical and whimsical like the other girls are. So I feel like, our episodes often are not, they're just automatically seen as more boring. Not that they are technically more boring. Like, you'll watch the Applejack episodes, and most of her episodes are really good and really solid episodes. It's just, when people think of Applejack episodes, I feel like people are like, okay. Because the standards of My Little Pony is supposed to be, like, really crazy, really magical, really whimsical. So Applejack is more like the more realistic side of the show, You guys get what I'm saying? She's more like the realistic side of the show. So not saying her episodes are technically bad, but it's something you have to be in the mood for first, Like, are you in the mood for Applejack episodes? They are good. But especially with especially with Rarity and Rainbow Dash, their episodes are really hit or miss. Especially back then, Rainbow Dash fans, it's kind of true, but let's just all admit back then, especially in the first few seasons of My Little Pony, Rainbow Dash was a little bit of an asshole. I don't blame her either. She was, she didn't have her character developments yet. Rainbow Dash was kind of more of like, she's a little bit of an asshole, but I forgive her for it. But in this episode, Rainbow Dash is really grounded. So the writers do, in fact, show, even for early seasons Rainbow Dash standards, Rainbow Dash can be grounded and still be Rainbow Dash. I love how Rainbow Dash is written in this episode. It's one of my favorite Rainbow Dash episodes. That's why I said Rainbow Dash episodes are either hit or miss, because she's like either really asshole. She's either a dick, or she's either like how she was in the Cutie Mark Chronicles, and a lot of these other episodes, she's really good, but then you have episodes like Fall Weather Friends where she's just like a dick. So it's just that's why I say hit or miss for Rainbow Dash. You know, you're either upset with her or she's written really well. Same exact thing for Rarity, if not even stronger. Some episodes Rarity is written to be very uptight and over dramatic when it's written in the serious way gets really annoying, but if it's written in a funny way, it's according to how it's written. Like, is she getting over dramatic on the side? That's funny. It's just according to how it's written. But when Rarity is written well, I honestly think, in my personal opinion, whenever Rarity is being written well, she has the best episodes without the main six. Period. I strongly do believe that. But the same thing, Rainbow Dash and Rarity, their episodes are either hit or miss. So this, especially with it being as early as an episode as it was, this could have really been like a terrible episode. But whoever wrote it and whoever constructed this episode just did like a very good job with it in general. Yes, Rarity is a little bit annoying in the episode and a little bit over dramatic and a little bit unrealistic. Like, she has like the outfit she wore. Like, I don't think Rarity would wear that. But the only reason why she's written like that is to be next to like her character, to bounce off Rainbow Dash's character, because you can't have Rarity saying, "Oh yes, go darling, slay," or else it would be a really boring episode. You have to have Rarity written the wrong in this episode, for further character development. And Rarity, I don't think she's supposed to be taken seriously in this episode. So she's not technically uptight. Like, she kind of is, but it's for comedic effect, and again, it's the bounce off Rainbow Dash. So she's not insufferable in the episode, like I would say Look Before You Sleep, for example, but we'll get to that later. So, and also, just besides that, it's kind of like a Fluttershy episode too, but Fluttershy is always, her episodes are always good, especially in the early seasons. But then you have, oh yeah, this is also just a cult classic episode within the fandom in general. I feel like it would just be criminal to put this episode anything under like a B. It's just a really good episode. Like, it's a cult classic. It introduces something that's really important to the fandom, which is the Sonic Rainboom. I feel like a lot of these episodes the bronies picked up on, and they claimed like they loved the Sonic Rainboom and they love Pinkamena, or often are not very good episodes. So I can see why this episode was as hyped up as it was back then. It's just a really solid episode. I think the Pinkamena one is a little bit better, just simply because, I don't know. Like, it's really hard to explain why. How do I explain it? It's really just hard to say, like, this episode is better than this episode, and this episode is better than this episode. But when you have these three episodes right here lined up in a row, it makes sense. That's the best I know how to explain it to you guys. Alright? This may shock you guys a little bit, but this is going here. And I have an explanation as to why. Now, I know what you're thinking. This episode, it doesn't really have too much going on in it. It's just kind of like a, how do I want to say it? It's not that important of episodes. Like, these episodes right here that go in front of Green Isn't Your Color are, like, just all cult classics. They all have a lot going for them and all that sort of stuff. Sorry, there was something that fell over because of the wind. But it's fun. But, like, if you look at these other episodes right here and then you look at Green Isn't Your Color, it's like, why is Green Isn't Your Color this high up? It's just an episode. But that's what I love about it. I think Green Isn't Your Color is like the most solid, just a regular My Little Pony episode. I don't know how else to explain it, but just a regular My Little Pony episode, I think, is just great at doing that. And my reasoning for that is because, I was explaining it in my head earlier, but the good way to explain this episode is by saying this is a really good episode to show somebody if you're trying to get them in the My Little Pony for the first time, and they don't want to watch like the first few episodes. Just show them this episode, because I think this episode is a good example of how My Little Pony is supposed to be. You got It's funny, it's cute, it's charming, it's heartwarming, it's got cute jokes in it, it's all that. Like, it has everything with a good My Little Pony episode. It's just a really good regular episode. Nothing important is going on in it. Like, sure, it introduces Photo Finish, but like, she's a side character. No offense, I love her, but she's a side character. It's just, again, like I said, you don't have all this. It's not the introduction of a Sonic Rainbow, or it's not Pink Amino, or it's not these episodes. Like, it's not as important. It's just a regular episode. It's kind of a quote unquote filler episode, if you wanted to say that, but I think it's really polished, really funny, really cute. I love everything about it. There's not nothing I really don't like about it. It's just a good episode. And it's a Rarity and Fluttershy episode, so that's how you know it's going to be good, because I love their dynamic. Alright, what do we have next? Now, this is going to be the last one within my S tier, so don't worry about these episodes on the bottom. And I'll get to why. I'll explain in like a few seconds. This Sakura episode, when I first went over it for the first time, it was like high up. Like, I even said it was my favorite episode within season 1. But the Sakura episode is definitely the best episode in terms of like the first episodes of My Little Pony season 1. Like, when it comes to any series ever, I feel like it's kind of unfair to judge like the first few episodes of any series, because it's like the building blocks of a series. I don't feel like it's really ever fair to judge like a building block episodes of a series, because like, the writers are still trying to get used to the characters, they're trying to get used to everything, they're trying to figure it out. So having a really strong opinion over like the first few episodes of like any series really is just kind of like unfair to me. But this Sakura episode really did feel like the first episode that where the writers were just like, okay, we know how the characters are, we understand them, we know how we want to write them, and they just had a lot of fun with this episode. I feel like it was really important. You can tell it's like really early season, because like it's really down to earth. My Little Pony, like the first few episodes are like really down to earth. Season 1 in general is just like really down to earth. I think that's why a lot of old bronies. I feel like a lot of old bronies said Applejack episodes were the best. And then as the series digressed, people were like, oh, Applejack episodes are the worst without the main 6, but at first they were saying she had the best episodes. But whatever. What I'm trying to say is that these, especially season 1, the episodes are like really down to earth compared to the episodes that would be shown later in the series. And I just feel like this was one of the first episodes to, it really showcases that, but it's also like really fun at the same time. And I love this episode, like I really do. Like, I do love it. Like, I do want to put it like up here, but it's just simply not as good as these other episodes. Like, it's just unfair to put the Sakura episode above these other episodes right here. Like, it just feels unfair. And I love the episode. Like, I really do. It's one of my favorites. Like let's say, like, it's one of my favorites. Like, the Sonic Rainbow episode is not even one of my favorite episodes. I would say, like, the Sakura episode, not me personally, but how do I want to say it? Like, I just like it more. But just because I like it more doesn't mean it's as good as a particular episode. You guys get what I'm saying? You guys get a little bit more as I go down on this list. But this episode it really is giving like very early season My Little Pony syndrome, My Little Pony episode syndrome. So I feel like if this right here was a season 2 episode, it would be like one of the best episodes within the series. But it's really early. Not that there's an issue with that. I just feel like if it was written later on in the series, it would have been like really stronger. But I like it how it is. It's fine. I love it. It's really classic. I love the episode. I did want to put it further. But it's just not as good as these other ones, and like I said, I can always change it later, So I'm just gonna leave that one there. And that covers my C section, not C section. That covers my C tier section. I'm gonna call it C section. Alright, that covers S tier. Alright, let's move on to A tier. Now, for A tier, first we have The Best Night Ever. This explanation is going to be really short for this. Alright guys, I'm back. That took a little while. Somebody needed something, but I'm back. Alright, so what was Best Night Ever? Yeah, this is probably going to be a very short explanation. It's just simply like winter wrap up. It's just like a very fun episode. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Told you guys that one would be short. Alright, so after Best Night Ever, we have Winter Wrap Up, and Winter Wrap Up is a lot. Again, I don't have a lot to say about Winter Wrap Up. Where the fuck is Winter Wrap Up at? I don't even fucking see it. Oh, I put it up here, didn't I? Yep. Alright. Winter Wrap Up and The Best Night Ever have a lot in common, where it's just, they're both fun. The Best Night Ever is more fun, of course, because, it had a lot of build up to it and all that, and it's the season 1 finale, so, of course, it's going to be better than Winter Wrap Up. The Winter Wrap Up episode is also fun. It's a really fun season 1 episode. It's like Winter Wrap Up is kind of like a break from the series plot. It's just like a seasonal episode. You're supposed to have fun with it. So yeah, that's as much as I have to say. Alright. What do we have after that? We actually have Apple Bug season, which I put all the way up here. But this episode, it was kind of hard to rank because I feel like when it at first view it's Applejack episode, so you have that automatic view of, oh, it's not that good. And when I kind of first think about it, I kind of think that way. But if you actually watch the episode, it's really good. It's solid. It's funny. It's Applejack themed. I love Applejack. It's just a really good episode. I love it. It's funny. It's sweet. It's a lot like Green Isn't Your Color. I just simply think Green Isn't Your Color is a more stronger episode and kind of had more going on. Applebug season is kind of more laid back. It's kind of an earlier episode too. I actually think this episode went right after the Ticketmaster or somewhere around there. So like I said, it's a really early episode. And it's an Applejack centered episode, and Applejack always comes first. So yeah. That's really all I have to say about it. I think it's really I think if you watch it, it kind of surprises you. Like, you wouldn't think it would be that early. I guess it is. You could kind of tell it's like a really early season 1 episode. I don't have much to say about it. It's just really good. I really like it. Right behind Applebug season, we have Dragonshy, which I also put Dragonshy all the way up here. Actually, I had a case going on right here, like I did the Pink and Mina and the Best Night Ever episode. Get out of here, Spider. It was a lot like that same exact situation where, at first I had Dragonshy in front of Applebug season. And I guess in a way, I will admit, there's some things about this episode that are better than Applebug season. But I just feel like Applebug season, Applejack Love Aside, I feel like Applebug season is just maybe a few inches better. Maybe just 1 or 2 centimeters better. But I will put it above just because it's an Applejack episode. Not also because, but that's also another reason. And Applejack is a really enjoyable character just in general. I can rank it based off of that. It's my YouTube videos. But yeah, it's a really, I did put this one at S. Like I said, I said at the beginning of the video, some of these would be bumped down a lot. Whoa, Doodle, what are you doing? This was in, hold on. I just realized I was putting these in the wrong spaces. Yeah, that goes there. I was like, wait, why are we on B? Yeah, these aren't B. These are A. Whoopsies. Maybe the chapters will help qualify that. So let me make sure. First we had, somebody came outside a little while ago, and that's probably what threw it off. But yes, A tier. We have Best Night Ever, Winter Wrap Up, Apple Buck Season, and Dragon Shot. Okay, good. Yes, I just somebody came out here earlier, and like I said, it threw me off. But yeah, yeah, it's a really good episode. Like I said, this one's just a little bit better. I don't want to technically say it has more going on. This one and the Pink Amina episode kind of have a lot in common. The same thing with Apple Buck Season and The Best Night Ever. Apple Book Season and The Best Night Ever, like, it has more going on. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on throughout the episode. But Dragon Shine, the Pinkamena episode, it's like a build-up episode. It really is. Like, Dragon Shine is also, like, a really good build-up episode. The entire episode, like, they did have the introduction segment, but most of the episode is their, adventure on the Dragon Mountain to get up to the dragon. It's a really good Fluttershy episode. I think these two are just both really good episodes. Like, I talked about them to death when I first went over them. I think I already said everything that had to be said. They're really good episodes. All right, behind that one we have, what do we have? We have Ghostbusters. Now, this was a lot like a Zakora episode where I praised. I will admit I praised this episode a little bit too much. I think I did a really good job praising the Zakora episode. It's just these other episodes right here are simply better. Ghostbusters, like, this is the first episode on the list so far, like the roundup recap, where I'm putting an episode I used to have such mixed feelings over so high. Like, these other episodes that I just went over, like, I always loved these episodes. Even when I was little, I thought these all were like really good episodes. But then we had this episode. I used to hate this episode when I was younger, just because I thought Trixie was insufferable and I just hated her. And then, like I said, when I first went over this episode, I got older and then I got mixed feelings about her. But now I just fucking love Trixie because, like, she's not supposed to be taken seriously, guys. I went over that a lot, but I really praised this episode. I think that was because I recently watched it with Peyton, and I just remember how good it was because I was just experiencing my childhood again. Really, if we were just not to rank all of these, I actually just secretly really love all these episodes, but I'm ranking them. So yeah, but this one I really did praise it, but like I stopped and think about it, and I was like, it's not as strong as the other episodes. It's definitely not S tier. Like, I put it in S tier, and when you're reviewing a lot of the earlier episodes, you're like, oh, that's easily a S tier, but then you get to other episodes, and you're like, oh, that episode, it feels wrong. Like I said, it would feel wrong to put Ghostbusters on the same exact line as Cutie Mark Chronicles. It just doesn't feel right. It feels illegal to do that. So, this is also the first episode, I would say, where there's some flaws in it. Like, these episodes, I would even argue these episodes are quote unquote perfect, like nothing's perfect, but like there's not a lot of flaws in these other episodes. This is the first episode, I would say, where the flaws that are there are visible. Like I stated in the beginning, the only thing I didn't really like about this episode is the entirety of the Snips and Snails and the Spike and the mustache thing. Twilight was kind of annoying. Trixie was also a little bit annoying. The main six were kind of like acting like children. They weren't acting that mature. So I can see why people hate this episode. I used to hate it when I was younger for the reasons I just explained. It was really annoying. I just thought it was annoying. But now that I got older, this episode is not supposed to be taken that seriously. It's supposed to be dumb, okay? Like, and it's definitely an A. So I do have one more episode that goes behind Ghostbusters, believe it or not. And I feel like this is going to be the most shocking thing when it comes to this list so far. Feeling Pinky King. Yes, I know. I know that is really weird. I know that's really weird to put Feeling Pinky King there. But that's the reason why it goes at the very last of A. Really, I would say this is an A/B episode. The reason why it is so high up, and I know it's weird. Later, it could be moved. You guys never know. But I'm leaving it there. And the reason why I'm leaving it there is, again, this is one of those episodes where it just feels like really pointless and just like kind of like a filler episode. Like, oh, this episode is kind of why did they make it? It's just kind of boring a little, but. It's kind of like Applejack episodes. It's kind of like, oh, this episode is going to be boring, and then you watch it and like it's really good. That's the same thing with this episode right here. It's a Pinky and Twilight episode, and it's just really fun. It's non-serious. It's a slapstick episode. It's really goofy. It's one of the most non-serious episodes. The episode, like, it barely has a plot to it. The whole episode is centered around just slapstick goofiness. Kind of like the Sakura episode, and that's why I just like it a lot. It's just a fresh, it's just a breather from the other more serious episodes. It's just supposed to be refreshing. It's just funny. It's really classic. It's an underrated episode. That's how I would explain it. It's underrated. I Even at the start of the fandom, you didn't really see a lot of people bring up this episode. I think it's just extremely underrated. I think it's great. It's great. It's just it's just underrated, but it's great. That's really all I have to say about that one too. I'm a little shocked I put it so high. Like, a part of me is like, oh, it doesn't deserve to go up there, but I really like it. Like, it's really good. Um, and that's why I'm saying it might get changed later, because like I stated earlier, just with like, oh well, I like this episode better, but it's not as good, yada yada yada, like all that, like. But you don't, you know. Yeah, I'm already talking like I'm so mixed about this episode, but I'm being honest with you guys. I just really do like this episode. It can be seen as boring, but overall, I just think it's kind of underrated. Now, after filling Pinky King, oh yeah, that's all we have on A tier. B tier, I just put the first two episodes on B tier. That's it. Like I said to you guys, when it comes to like My Little Ponies, they have finales and like premieres, especially the premieres. The premieres of the show are so hard to rank. Um, the finales, most if not all the finales to My Little Pony are just always good. Like, always. Like, even when it comes to the new seasons of My Little Pony, if you don't want to watch the show and you want to catch up on My Little Pony, just watch the finales. Like, you don't even have to watch the premieres. Just watch the finales. The finales in the show almost never miss. Like, the finales in the show are almost great. And also, the season one finale is like the only finale where there's like a bad guy or nothing bad going on. They're just having fun, which is like a symbolism of the early seasons. I think the early seasons were just like, it's just more charming, It's not even nostalgia bubbles. It's just the early seasons are just so fucking classic, like so good, like, you know. So My Little Pony Core. But this, yeah, I think when I first thought about this, I was overthinking it a little bit. Firstly, especially like I stated before, it's almost impossible to rate very first episodes of any series because I just feel like it's kind of unfair. Like, it's the first episode. But with that aside, and if I do have to rank this, how I remember this, it's just a really good episode. Like, it's really solid. It's a really good fountain base for a very good series. Um. I don't, like I said, like, it's really good, but I don't think it should go in an A, especially right now, because it's the first episode. There's not too much going on. Like, there's a lot going on, but like, there's not a lot of establishments for characters. It's the first episode. But it's like, if you want me to put all that judgment to the side and look at it as an episode, it's just good. It's a good episode. It's not the best. It's not the worst. I just think it's good. And that will be very sad for a lot of other episodes on the B section. I think B section. I think I also forgot to mention. Yes, we're going to go ahead and we're on the B section now. I literally forgot to say that, but yes, we're doing B now. Um, But yeah, and also I rank these two episodes together because it would be so hurtful on my brain if I had to rank these two episodes separately. I'm gonna do that with every single premiere and finale if you guys haven't caught on to that. Yeah, these two episodes good. Alright, behind the first two episodes, this actually kind of surprised me too, like feeling Pinky Keen. But this episode is a lot like feeling Pinky Keen in Applebuck season, where if you just think about it, your first thought is like, oh, that episode is kind of boring. But if you actually sit down and like watch the episode and pay attention and listen to it, I think it's a really good episode. Now, this episode, sadly, is like a really important episode, but it's also kind of forgettable to begin with, because like even when I was going back and watching these episodes and trying to remember them, I had no memory of this being the CMC episode. That's how quote unquote forgettable it was. I completely forgot this is the episode where the CMC popped up and like Twist and Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. I had to think. I had a brain fart. But yeah, I completely forgot about all that. But then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh yeah, this is the episode where the CMC are introduced. Like, I had been in a mindset where my brain just remembered this episode as Apple Bloom just trying to get her cutie mark, and it's just an Apple Bloom episode. But I was like, oh yeah, the CMC pop up. So, I think the CMC popping up is what saved the episode. I feel like if the CMC didn't appear in this episode, this would just be like a very boring episode, to be honest. Like, it's cute, like, and, you know, you have, it's a really important episode to the series. It's the introduction, just a real introduction of Apple Bloom. Like, obviously she was in the Zakora episode. I kind of do wish Apple Bloom was a single character for a little bit longer in the series. I do understand that though. Bringing up the CMC in season one, that's really important. I just kind of wish we would have gotten more episodes where like Apple Bloom's by herself, and I do understand that. Like we do just get singular Scootaloo singular, Sweetie Belle singular Apple Bloom episodes. We do get that. But it's kind of also interesting to see how she was before she got in the group and to not bring her friends up. I just think it's really interesting. I kind of wish we'd gotten episodes like Twilight, that with Twilight as well, when she was in her old friend group, back when before she moved to Ponyville and she was with her Canterlot friends. This is stuff the newer writers could have done, but they never did elaborate on that. They show it in the comics. Maybe they weren't allowed to like show stuff in the show after they showed it in the comics, but let's be honest, half of the Brony fandom don't really care about the comics. The only people reading the comics are like people like me, who like care about the lore and deep diver bronies. Like I would say, obviously I'm a deep diver brony. I'm making like a 3 hour long fucking video on My Little Pony season 1. But like I like to see the small details. I love small details and lore and backstories. That's like my favorite thing ever, like ever, when it comes to any series. Lore, backstories, character, not character development as much. Lore, backstories, and small subtle details. All we big fans of that series cares about. You get what I'm saying? So I love that with any series. But yeah, I am still upset over Twist. I don't like how they just got rid of her. That was kind of weird. I won't like I did. I wish we would have gotten more Apple Bloom and Twist, because I feel like they were like they were probably really good friends, because you have the stereotypical nerd and then you have the Southern girl. I feel like it would have been really good to just go in on that more, and I see why the show did that. They probably didn't have time, but it just felt really weird how they just suddenly fucking cut Twist out. I see why they did it though. It's whatever. You can't judge these writers too hard, because when you're actually writing it, you have like so much fucking rules to consider, and it's just impossible to have like a perfect show. Like that's why there's every good show. There's going to be issues with it, like major issues especially. But that's some mistakes. You can't have a perfect show, then it would be boring. All right, so yeah, without I got kind of sidetracked, but without the CMC stuff, this episode would have been kind of boring. I feel like it would be reasonable to make an episode where like Apple Bloom just tries to search for a cutie mark for the first time. They could make a full episode with that, but they decided to introduce Apple Bloom. Not Apple Bloom, fuck. They decided to introduce Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle within the last few remaining minutes of the episode, which is probably why I forgot it, because they weren't in there that long in the episode. And you might complain, oh, they were introduced too late, but I feel like that was actually really good how they did it. how they introduced them. I thought that was like really smart and clever. You know, they didn't go on to them that long, but they don't need a long introduction. Just fucking throw them in there, you know, just go with it. You know, don't have to overthink it, just fucking throw them in there. But yeah, it's a good episode. I mean, it's got some boring moments in it for sure. I think some of the especially the segments with Apple Bloom trying to find her cutie mark and Rainbow Dash trying to help her, I thought that was a little bit boring. And obviously Diamond TR and Silver Spoon are annoying, but you know, these don't take it too seriously, you know. But you had a lot of saving graces in this episode. First of all, you had Applejack in this episode, which she was just fucking amazing, like she always is. Applejack is always great. You had the Applejack stuff, you had the stuff with the CMC, and you had Twist. Rest in peace, Twist. I think I elaborated on this episode long enough, just because I got distracted. Alright. We have Ticketmaster, which is the very first. What goes? I lied earlier and said the Applejack season was one of the first episodes, but it was Ticketmaster. I don't know why I said that. This is one of the first episodes, like early episodes, but this is the first official My Little Pony episode right after the premiere. Alright, Ticketmaster, with this being the first episode, it's just, I don't have a lot to say about it. You know, we have the premiere, we have the introduction, and then we have this, which is the first actual episode, which I said that before when I first started going over it. It's good. It's not great, it's just good. It's not bad. That's all I have to say about it, really. Like, you say introduction, I can't really... It's definitely B tier. It's not A, it's not C. This is definitely just a solid B tier episode. It's just clever, cute. It's a little bit cheesy. Some parts are annoying. Like, I already made all the complaints, like Rainbow Dash and Rarity were kind of and then you have Applejack, and you know, some of the parts of the episode were and then other parts were like, yay, cutesy. It's just a good episode. That's all I have to say about that one. Who's next? This one may surprise you, because I put this in like S tier or something. I think I put this one in S tier to begin with. I know it was for In Fact A, but I think I put this one in S tier. I think I did. It was probably A, but either way, I put this one way high up, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, why is it suddenly so down low? And this is the last episode of B tier, by the way. I accidentally fell victim to this episode like I did Ghostbusters and a few others. I accidentally ranked it way too high, and then I sat back and looked at all these episodes carefully, and I'm like, yeah, other episodes are just better. It's not a bad episode. At first, when I first watched this episode, I kind of thought it was, like, really boring. And then, like, when I got older, my nostalgic bubbles kicked in a lot, and I was like, oh, this is one of the great episodes. This is one of the most cult classic episodes. It's good. Like, that's how it is for me. It's personally, like, what I said with this Akora episode. Me, personally, it's one of my favorite episodes. I love the Zakora episode, and I love the Parasite episode. Like, me personally, it's just one of my favorites. But it's just simply, like, just my judgments aside, it's just, oh, now it's starting to rain. I see it now. Yep, okay, maybe, hopefully don't rain hard, guys. So, just, you know, now the rain's distracting me. Hopefully it don't get on my laptop. Let's move this table back a little bit. Don't need the rain right here. Alright. Oh, God. Now you guys are gonna hear rain. It's alright. It's alright. We're like halfway with the video. And I don't think it's gonna rain that hard. And if it does rain, it's okay, because it'll probably be relaxing. Like, whenever you hear wind in the background on my videos, it's annoying. But, like, rain, yeah, it won't be that. Like, it's not gonna be like, the rain is so annoying. I'd imagine background rain noises would be peaceful. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little rain segment. Mostly I record these videos when it's dry outside. So I hope you guys enjoyed this rain segment that's about to happen. No, it's not the chapter in the video, you silly goose. There's just simply rain. It's just simply raining out here. Alright, I'm getting distracted. Let's talk about the Parasite episode. Okay, yeah, so like I said, it's one of my favorites, but it's just simply not as good as other episodes. Now, I did say at one point when I was doing these videos that I would judge it more based off of how good I liked it. But I don't want to overkill that, okay? Like, it's a good episode. don't get me wrong, it's just not as good as the other ones. I don't really know how else to put it. I think some of the parts in this episode are boring. It's just simply not as good as these other episodes. I don't know what else to say. Alright. Let's go. We are now at the C tier. Alright. The beginning of C tier, we have I can't fucking talk. Over a Barrel. Alright. This is an Applejack episode. It's okay. It's just an okay episode. This is like a really decent episode. This episode is the greatest example in this entire list of just a decent episode. I feel like I think most of people in the fandom agree with me. I feel like when most people think of this episode, they're just like, it was okay. It wasn't bad or it wasn't good. It was just okay episode. That's how I feel. Like, this episode is really hard to rank. It's just a decent episode. I think that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to elaborate on it for too long, because when I first did, I elaborated on it for like a really long time. It has good moments, it has boring moments. It's just a really decent episode. Alright, after this, we have Stairmaster, which is understandable. Fuck, there's rain getting on my laptop. Shit. Alright, now it won't. Alright, Stairmaster is also, again, another example. I hoping it was gonna rain hard so you guys can hear it, but no, it's gonna fucking sprinkle again. Okay, so, Stairmaster is just an example of a decent episode. The CMC are annoying in this episode, I'm not gonna lie, especially Sweetie Belle singing, especially Sweetie Belle in general. I just thought she was really annoying. You know, it's one of the first CMC episodes of just like, fucking, you guys get what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just sorry, I had to look back on my list because I was like, I didn't rate Showstoppers yet, but it's right after this one. I just spoiled it for you guys, but yeah, Stairmaster. Yeah, Stairmaster. Like it's just okay. I like Fluttershy. It's a lot like this episode is better because this episode right here had more annoying moments in it. I would say not starting over a barrel, but starting at Stairmaster, and everything I cover over Stairmaster is the more weaker episodes of the series. Oh no, I'll get the fall with the friends. But I know what you're thinking. Oh no, Stairmaster, it's after Stairmaster, after this one right here, we're now, right now, we're getting into the more weaker episodes of the season. So Stairmaster, it's okay. I like the Twilight, I like the Fluttershy, but CMC are annoying. It's just decent. Alright. So, next we have a Burden Hoof. Where the fuck is it? I don't even see it. Where's Burden Hoof? There it is right there. Remember when I said Fluttershy had the best episodes? Well, this is one of her weaker episodes. Fluttershy episodes can be written bad. Same with Pinkie Pie. This Fluttershy, the episode, I hate to say it, but most Fluttershy episodes lack when you don't have her doing like some sort of character development because of the way Fluttershy is built. Now, this did work in Green Isn't Your Color. It can work. Green Isn't Your Color, Fluttershy was just being herself. She didn't really need any character development. But when it's just kind of like Fluttershy taking care of animals and just doing her thing and not really being put outside her comfort zone, it just feels weird. That's what this episode is. It's just Fluttershy being Fluttershy. It's her, like, taking care of a fucking bird. That's the whole episode. There's not a lot in it. It's not a bad episode. It's definitely not. But it's one of the more weaker episodes. It just is. I don't know what to say about it because there's not even a lot in this episode to talk about. Fluttershy takes care of a fucking bird. That's the entire fucking episode. Like, there's just, like, that's just shows you how bland this episode is compared to the others. The whole episode is just Fluttershy taking care of a fucking bird. Why is there frogs chirping? It's not late yet. It's probably because it's raining, dumbass. Doodle, you dummy! But yeah, it's just not a lot going on in this episode. That's all I have to say for that. I'm gonna move on, or I'm gonna repeat myself, because that's literally all the episode is, and I don't know what else to say. Alright, after, Bird and Hoof, we have Showstoppers. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, no, I do see why I put Showstoppers behind putting bird fucking don't do that. I know why I put Showstoppers behind Bird and Hoof, or whatever what's it called? Bird and Hoof. Oh, would you put a bird in your hoof? That sounds weird. Bird and Hoof. Okay, that's what it is called. Okay, so I'm not weird. All right, for putting a bird in your hoof. I'm making no sense no more. This hasn't been a long day, guys. I've just been talking for a while. Okay, Showstoppers. I know why. I know why I put it behind Bird and Hoof, and it's because with this episode, it's just more infuriating. Like, if you put the infuriating stuff in this episode behind, ooh, look at the rain falling down in the pan. That's cute. I love that. If you put this episode behind, like, if you put all the annoying episodes, if you get rid of all the annoying stuff in this episode right here, this episode would actually be a better episode than Bird and Hoof. So, Showstoppers, it has more drama in it. It's more intense. Showstoppers is a very mixed episode of My Little Pony in general. Showstoppers, whenever I'm in the mood for Showstoppers, it's literally like an A tier episode. But whenever I'm not in the mood for the Showstoppers episode, it's literally like F tier. Like, it's just one of those episodes strongly based on your mood. I feel like it's really hard to, like, rank this episode analytically. It's just very difficult to do that. So because of that, I'm just going to say the episode is decent, because I can't make up my mind. Like, this is a really hard episode for me to rank. I remember when this first came out, it was like one of the bronies' least favorite episodes. I remember all the bronies back then, they would complain about the episode, especially since, like, they had their talents mixed up, but, I made a counter argument when I first reviewed it, like, oh, they're little kids. Like, they're finding who they are. But even with all that, the CMC are just kind of annoying in this episode. Like I said, I've said this like 20 times, but I'll say it again. The CMC episodes, they're always hit or miss. Every time, they're always hit or miss. They're not good episodes, they're not bad episodes. They're just always hit or miss episodes. I think the whole fandom can agree with me on that. But, yeah, the CMC always hit or miss episodes. So, yeah, but I just think, like, the episode's plot and premise isn't bad. Like, the CMC do a talent show. Oh, you could do so much with that. I think it could have been funnier. The episode gets annoying a lot. The CMC are kind of more on the annoying side. I don't think it's a bad episode. I just think it could have been written better. That's not technically a bad thing either. It's just, you're gonna have episodes like this. With My Little Pony having so much episodes, and their episodes being like 20 minutes long. I don't think you guys can hear the rain, but I'm sure you guys can hear this rain falling into this bucket. Can you guys hear that? Because it's so loud. I'm sure you can. But yeah, the rain is just falling into that bucket there. That bucket is going to get full. I love how the rain is falling barely anywhere else besides in that bucket because of the pour down it's having. And I find it really funny that bucket just so happens to be placed there. Maybe you guys can hear this airplane as well that's flying above me. Maybe not, probably not, but I know you guys for a fact can. I'm 90% sure you guys can hear that bucket being filled up. Getting distracted, okay. Showstoppers. Now we are moving on to D tier. Alright. This might spark a little controversy, but oh, now it's raining harder. Okay. I like how as soon as I get to the D tier episodes, it starts raining harder. Grrr, I'm the weather. I agree with you, Doodle. These episodes suck. Let me rain harder. So we got into D, and I know what you're thinking. Look before you sleep. Uh, the reason why I'm putting this here is, and I know what you guys, I think I literally, like, put this at A when I first reviewed it. Like, dude, what the fuck happened? Like, you praised it to death. You said it was funny. It does have funny moments. It really does. I think the episode has really funny moments. I think it's really great. I like some of the moments, and I think it's really great. I think there's, like, really good moments. So much so that this could even potentially be an S tier episode. There's rain droplets on my laptop. Girl, don't do that. So I know what you're thinking. No, it's raining harder. I know what you guys are thinking. If there's so much funny, if there's like a lot of funny and a lot of charming and a lot of great moments in this episode, why are you ranking it so low? I'm about to get, like, this is gonna be a common theme for D tier episodes. D tier episodes, they're not particularly bad. They have a lot of good moments, but particularly in D tier episodes, you'll see this theme the more I talk. But the theme with these D tier episodes is just, they had the potential to be better, but there's, like, and they are really good episodes, but there's just one common factor that I just cannot get over or accept because it just irritates me so bad. This is what this episode is a classic example of. This episode just has something in here that just irritates me so bad, and I can't look past that. And that's mostly Rarity, to be honest. You know, this is Rarity being written weaker. I think Applejack is a little bit childish too. Like, it is more of like Rarity and Applejack just being infuriating. This is one of the episodes where, like, Twilight is actually like the common sense person, is according to which episode you get of Twilight. Like, she's supposed to be the common sense person in general, but sometimes she's written as an asshole. But we'll get into that more later. But yeah, Rarity and Applejack, they were kind of childish in this episode. I never did really like this episode to even begin with. When I first watched it when I was younger, I felt myself being, like, legitimately irritated by, like, how Applejack and Rarity were treating each other. Like I said when I first talked about this episode feels more like a Generation 2 episode of My Little Pony, where it's like, oh, Applejack, ugh, yeah, who's a mutty? Don't come in the house with muddy hooves, or I'm going to have to destroy you. Oh! And then Applejack's like, I don't give a shit. I walk wherever the fuck I want, motherfucker. You know. I don't know why I gave Rarity and Applejack those impressions. That's not, they don't even talk like that. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, yeah, I just think Rarity and Applejack are just really immature, and it, like, really irritates me. And the thing is, I would understand it more. They should have had, like, this would have made more sense if this was a CMC episode, and it was like Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle, like, arguing, which that kind of wouldn't make sense either, because, like, they're little kids, and little kids seem to be more open-minded. This would have made more sense to be a CMC episode. Think about it. Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo aren't really friends yet. They're trying to get used to each other, but Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo has their differences. Apple Bloom, of course, is the one that's invited them to the slumber party. That would have made more sense, would it? But no, you have two grown adult mares fighting over, like, childish shit, and it's just like, like, I do like the rest of the parts of the episode, but it's just my brain gets so irritated by that, and I don't know why, and I just can't look past that. That was the point I was trying to get to. Alright. You guys have to hear the rain now. There's no way y'all can't. I know. This is weird to you guys. This being right here is really weird. So, fall weather friends, what happened, Doodle? You had this one ranked so high up at first. It's the same exact reason as this episode right here. Same exact reason. The episode's great. The episode's fine. The episode's funny. I love the episode. But there's just one thing in this episode that irritates me. Same thing with this episode right here. And it's just Rainbow Dash. What about Applejack? Last time you said, no, Applejack's fine in this episode. Like, literally, Applejack's being fair in this episode. She's being understandable. Like, she's being a fair player. It's just fucking Rainbow Dash just being a dick. And that's not as big of an issue. But the writers play it off like, Applejack deserves it. Like, Rainbow Dash, they're like, they play it off. Like, I feel like Applejack haters just wrote this episode because Rainbow Dash doesn't get punished. Rainbow Dash, the end episode, I hate the end message so much, and the end message is that Rainbow Dash and Applejack should be equal, when the whole fucking time, Rainbow Dash was cheating. So it would have made sense for, like, Rainbow Dash to get her punishment, like she should have had. Like, she should have had my fucking inner skater Jade came out. Like they should have, like, that's how the episode should have been written, you know? Applejack should have gotten her victory. Rainbow Dash should have been punished one way or another. Applejack should have won the race, you know, kind of like Ticketmaster episode, you know, Applejack's kind of poor. You know, so you have that going on. So yeah, the writers of this episode, I don't know if they meant it or not, but like it came out wrong. Like, and just like, oh, Rainbow Dash, and like in Rainbow. Also, side note, what else infuriated me about this episode is like, Rainbow Dash knew how to do some stuff better than Applejack, rodeo style. That irritates me so much, because let's see, you have unicorns. Let's say, like, My Little Pony itself, within the very later seasons, confirmed that, example, if you are a unicorn and you study stuff that's not magic, you're going to be lacking in magic more. Like me, my Sona doesn't know how to do magic that well. In fact, not really at all, because she's more focused on her drawing career. So she doesn't really care about her magic. You know, she's not a magical unicorn. She just so happens to have a horn. In fact, she's probably more of like a Earth Pony and Unicorn hybrid anyways. Doodle, my Sona, like I said this before, she's literally just an Earth Pony stuck in a unicorn's body. She never fucking uses her magic. She just has a horn because I gave her that when I was younger, and it's funny. Lol, I'm a unicorn, and I has horns, you know, whatever. And like I said again, I'll repeat myself with this. You have Rarity, for example. Her magic consists of diamonds and fashion. Rarity is really focused on diamonds and fashion, so Rarity doesn't know how to do magic spells like Twilight, because what is Twilight's magic? What is Twilight's talent? Magic within itself. Spells. Oh, so let's say we have Rainbow Dash and Applejack here. What is Rainbow Dash's talent? It's really Pegasus-ness. It's really Pegasus style. She wants to be good with the clouds. She wants to be a fast flyer. I about said something that I about slipped up and said something that would have gotten me banned off of YouTube. And then we have Applejack. She's a really talented Earth Pony. Her talent is Earth Pony style. She does groundwork. She's a rodeoist. I don't know if that's the correct word for it, but she does this rodeo work and she does this groundwork and all this shit. So since Rainbow Dash's talents are so focused on the sky, and Applejack's talent is so focused on groundwork, Rainbow Dash should not be able to do rodeo work better than Applejack. It's breaking the rules of the show. It's like Twilight using her magic to fucking pick Applejack's apples in this episode. I don't agree with that. I think that breaks the rules of the show a little bit, but you know, it's just what the fucking show writers do. It's not that serious. You know, you're right. It's not that serious, but it's going to go in D, unfortunately, which is funny because I ranked it so high. This is one of, like I said, the reason why I'm talking so fast and so loud is because it's like the rain is loud and I'm making sure you guys hear me. It's okay if I blow out my voice. I have one more episode left. So, guys, I'm not angry or nothing. I'm just talking louder to make sure you guys can hear me because the rain is picking up. I have one more episode left. I can make it. Alright. And then we're done with season 1. One more episode and then we're done with this. Alright. No, I don't have one more episode left. I lied to you guys. Shit. I have a few more episodes. We have 3 more episodes left. Looking at my list real quick. I don't even need my list anymore. I already know what it is. Yeah, I don't need this list anymore. Turn my fucking phone off. Alright. That's all I have to say about this episode. Like I said, it's a cult classic. It's really important within the fandom. It's a really important, just overall brony episode. It's a cult classic. So I know why I would frustrate some of y'all with me putting it so down on the list. I thought I was wrong. When I was reviewing this, I originally said, oh, I'm okay with my judgments. You know, I can look past it. but I can't look past it. That bucket is almost already filled to the brim. Like, when I first commented on that bucket, it was like the water was at the very bottom of the bucket, but now it's like almost to the top. That's really interesting. Okay, so yeah, anyways, I couldn't get past my judgments. Rainbow Dash is just very infuriating in this episode. I do like the ending. I do like how Twilight won, but I still wish Applejack would have gotten her justice. Rainbow Dash should have been punished for being a cheater. Applejack was being completely fair. That's basically all I have to say about it. Alright. Well, next we have this episode. This episode, it's not as tense, and you don't have a lot going on in this episode. It's kind of more on the boring side, but not only is it boring, it's also kind of infuriating episode 2, because the whole spike and rarity shit is just annoying, and I hate the diamond dogs, and that wouldn't be an issue, besides the fact that the entire episode is just focused on the diamond dogs. It's, this is right. This, you obviously know this, you guys obviously already know this episode is going last. But this episode is right in front of it, because not only does it have infuriating moments in it, like these 2 episodes right here, it's also boring, or quote-unquote a filler episode, like the Parasite episode, or Call of the Cutie, or Feeling Pinky King. So imagine if the Parasite episode was mixed with Fall Weather Friends. You have both boring stuff in it and just overall irritating stuff in it. So that's why the episode is ranked so low. But I forgot one more episode. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm probably going to do this. I'm probably going to leave it like this, but not right now. I'll do that when I do the big project. But the reason why this is right here... Hold on. You know what? Fuck it. Yes. Let's do it like this. Okay, let me do Griffin the Brush Off. Griffin the Brush Off, Fall Weather Friends, and Look Before You Sleep all have something in common. And that is the fact that all these 3 episodes have very good moments in it, are very funny, and they're interesting and entertaining to watch, like most of these other episodes. The same with this episode. It's a really important episode. It's a cult classic. It introduces Gilda. But that leads to my issue with this episode. And that's the fact that I can't fucking stand Gilda. She's one of my least favorite characters. She reminds me of a lot of Jasper from Steven Universe. I couldn't barely stand Jasper whenever I was a fan of Steven Universe. I just could barely stand Jasper. I could barely stand when she was on screen. I didn't like her at all. Same with Gilda. She's literally just like Jasper. But the thing is, with Jasper and Gilda, at least they're not that in the they're not in the show that much. Especially Gilda. She's only really in like 2 episodes, at least when they're focused on her. I just can't stand Gilda. I think it's just the fact that she's a narcissistic bully. And I just don't fucking like her. And it's not like a Trixie thing either. We're like, lol, Trixie, get wrecked, or Rainbow Dash. Because, you can enjoy Rainbow Dash. She's a main character. And Rainbow Dash has a lot of redeeming qualities. But Gilda has 0. Gilda's a narcissist. Gilda's a classic bully. Gilda doesn't give a shit. And the whole episode is about Gilda. That's why this episode is ranked so low down. Like I just said, with these 3 other episodes, they're really good, but you just have one big irritating thing blocking them. And with this case, with this I said Rainbow Dash, with this I said how Rarity and Applejack were acting. But this is just Gilda in general. And I know Gilda does get punished at the end, like they actually did do that correctly in Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash was the one that pranked her, so Gilda did get her corruption. But it just, It's not that it wasn't enough. It's just the whole fucking episode. It's just Gilda being a motherfucker, and it's just annoying to watch. Like, it's unenjoyable to watch. It gets you annoyed. It gets you frustrated. And I literally put this episode in, like, B or A tier. Because I was judging it based off of how much of a cult classic it was. And I did with these other 2 episodes, too. But I just can't get over how much Gilda just irritates me. If any of you guys are a fan of Gilda, trust me, I don't care. It won't bother me in the slightest. I could care less about how much you care about, like, a fictional character. It's whatever. I'm just saying how I feel about her personally. I just hate Gilda. She's one of my least favorite My Little Pony characters. She's one of my least favorite My Little Pony characters. I just don't like her. That's basically it. And Gilda, like, she's more infuriating in these 2 episodes, because, again, Gilda, I don't like her. But the thing with this episode, the part where Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie was, like, pranking everybody, that was funny. Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash in general in this episode is just really good. Twilight was annoying in this episode, so Gilda also was as well. This stuff I've already all said before. So, in my original script, I had the Gilda episode behind this one and the Dog and Pony show right here. But, now that I'm talking and thinking about it right now, these episodes, like I said, these three episodes at least have a redeeming quality in it. Like, I actually think these episodes are really good. I actually think these 3 episodes are, like, really good. If you just get rid of the annoying part. This is why all of these 3 episodes right here are, like, cult classics, and often or not, these episodes get rated as, like, A or S tier, because they're really good episodes. There's just something in it that's just, like, really infuriating. But the thing with this episode, it's just both really annoying and infuriating, because, like I said, the Diamond Dogs and the whole thing with Spike and Rarity. Rarity is annoying in this episode. Like, she has some redeeming moments, but yeah, this episode right here is just really close to an F. The only reason why it's not in an F is because at least it's watchable. Like, I can tolerate it. Like, if I had to sit down and watch it, like, I would be okay with, like, it wouldn't put me in a bad mood. Actually, these 3 episodes would put me more in a bad mood than this episode right here, because of the irritating stuff. This episode wouldn't put me in a bad mood as much, because it's just really fucking boring. It's just a really boring episode, okay? It's boring, and it has irritating moments like these 3 episodes. Not as intensely, like the Diamond Dogs and the Spike segments aren't as irritating as these episodes, but it's still a little irritating. It's just overall a very fucking boring episode, and one of Rarity's weakest episodes. Now, drum roll! Drum roll, please! We are at the very final episode. Let's make sure I didn't forget anything real quick. Let's actually do a read-off. Let's do a read-off before I get to the very last episode, okay? Let's do a read-off. S tier. Call of the Cutie Mark Chronicles. My bad. Yeah, S tier. Cutie Mark Chronicles. Correct. Art of the Dress. Correct. Pinkamena. Correct. Sonic Rainboom. Green Isn't Your Color. Zakura. A tier. Best Night Ever. Winter Wrap-Up. Apple Bug Season. Dragon Shy. Ghostbusters. Feeling Pinky Keen. B tier. Friendship is Magic Part 1 and 2. Call of the Cutie. Ticketmaster. The Parasite episode. C tier. Over a Barrel. Stairmaster. Bird and Hoof. I don't know why it's still called that. And Showstoppers. D tier. Look Before You Sleep. Fall Weather Friends. Dog and Pony Show. Oh, no, my bad. I remember, I switched it. D tier. Look Before You Sleep. Fall Weather Friends. Griffin the Brush. I did it again. One more time. D tier. Look Before You Sleep. Hello, other friends! Griffin the Brush Off! A Dog and Pony Show! Drum roll, please! Yeah, God, we're fucking episode. Yeah, this fucking thing right here. Let's add a row for it because it's obviously F tier, not S. No, add row below. Let's make it red since it's F. Oh, I accidentally added a fucking another one. Technical there we go. No! That's not what I wanted! Hold on. I'll figure it out one day. I'm sorry. It's my OCD. Let's just make this pink. Fuck it, I don't really care. D, okay, it's pink. Okay, this will be red. There. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with this. Not really, because you have so much orange and yellow and red, and then you just have this, like, random pink one. Hold on, I'm so sorry. There, that's better. Whew, okay, my OCD is cured. Okay, drum roll, please, after having technical difficulties. You have owls well, that ends well. I basically already stated how much I just don't like this episode. I really don't think, compared to the whole series, this episode right here definitely isn't the worst episode of My Little Pony, series-wise. But it is one of the worst episodes of My Little Pony if we're talking about seasons 1 through 3. Spike has a reputation for having some very weak episodes. He can have good episodes, but a lot of his episodes, simply because it's Spike, the writers decided to write it poorly, as it don't matter. This episode, I think it came out before this, so I think, the writers just kind of did it on purpose, oh, we did this really good episode, let's have a really bad episode, or, oh, we have this really bad episode, so let's do a really good episode. We had, a little theme with that going on within the later episodes of Season 1. We had, a really bad and then a really good, did a really bad and a really good episode, Season 1 terms. So, yeah, this one is just the weakest of Season 1. I don't think there's even a question about that. Not only is this episode just, infuriating to fucking death, but it's also boring as shit. It's just fucking boring. There's just... it's really infuriating. Twilight in this episode is just so fucking bad. She's just so mean. She has the same attitude in this episode like she does the Griffin episode.
Pinkie Pie, I think you're just jealous. Or Spike, I actually just think, you're jealous of this owl I am suddenly paying much more attention to than I am you.
That's what she's giving the fucking episode. And also, it's the main six. This is just a Spike hate episode. And I know in the fandom it's, really funny to hate Spike. Spike abuse is one of those things in the fandom where, it should just be a fandom thing and nothing else. If you make fun of Spike and the fandom, it's funny. It's fine. But when you do it in the show, it gets really old really quick. I don't know what else to say. Sure, it's, a few... Get the fuck out of the way, Spike. A few jokes like that, if it's subtle and quiet, it's okay. But it should just be only that. But when you make a Spike abuse episode, so you drag that out for 20 minutes, it gets old extremely quick. This episode does have redeeming qualities to it, believe it or not. Actually, believe it or not, this episode is probably a D tier. It's just simply a F tier for two reasons. Number one, I don't know what else to put at F. Number two, this episode is the worst out of all these other episodes, so, you don't have much of a choice. And I'll add a third reason. Number three, the Spike hate for this episode is just really weird. Like I said when I first reviewed this episode, it just feels like somebody's like projecting their trauma. Because the episode with the Spike hate, it's not like, get the fuck out of the way, Spike. Boom, get the fuck out of the way. Shut your mouth. It's not like that. It's like it's written like these motherfuckers like really hate Spike. Like he feels like an abandoned child. And the episode kind of like it's just kind of traumatic to watch it. It kind of feels a little more on the realistic side. And you don't get a lot of that in My Little Pony, so like this episode it just throws me off so much. It's like fucking what? Like it's just really like what? Really confusing. I don't know what else to say about it. I did this big build up for it. Like I reviewed this episode really last just to not really know how to fucking go into extreme detail about it. It's not the worst episode, but it's bad compared to these other episodes. This episode is mostly just here because it has like a weird spiteful tone to it. Like I said, it's written to be a little bit weird. It's written to be a little bit too real. It has that weird not spike. It has this like weird spite in this episode. It just was a little uncomfortable to watch. Out of all these episodes, this episode right here is definitely the most uncomfortable to watch. But this one is as well. Like they're both equal. Both this Owlicious episode and the Rarity episode, the Dog and Pony Show episode. They're both uncomfortable to watch. These two episodes are like episodes you wouldn't want to watch in front of your family. That's the best I know how to explain it. Like you'd want to watch this episode and this episode like by yourself. That's the best way I know how to describe it. I don't know what else to say about it. I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I don't know how long I've been recording. I thought this was going to be my shortest recording, but then I got distracted a little bit. So yeah, here you go, you guys. I already named them all. I didn't name this one. I don't have to go back and read them all. You guys already know. Season 2, I might switch it around a little bit and then do worst to best episodes. I feel like that would get short real quick, though. I'd spend so much time on how much I hate these episodes, and I was like, oh, this episode's good. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I am honestly grateful to tell you guys that I am done with this part of the project. We still have Season 2 and Season 3 to go. But the thing with Season 3 is that Season 3 is as short because, Season 3 got cut off for fucking Equestria Girls. So, and Season 2 is the best season of My Little Pony, and it was Lauren Faust's last season. Season 2 has some absolutely juicy and tasty episodes for it. Season 2 has some of the best episodes within the entire series, so I really can't wait to go ahead and knock Season 2 out of the ballpark, and after Season 2, Season 3 will be easy, because again, Season 3 doesn't have as many episodes. Season 3, when it comes to the first 3 seasons, Season 3 is kind of more on the weaker side, I'd say, because it was rushed, but it's still a good season. So I just, this Season 1 is like the ground building episodes, and then Season 2 is really good and juicy, and then Season 3 was cut off short. So I really cannot wait to get to Season 2. I think that will be really fun. So for now, this could get changed later, but for now, this is my Season 1 tier list. It could be changed later. In fact, it probably will whenever I make my big project. And as soon as I'm about to end this video, it stops raining. That is perfect. That is just perfect. That is really perfect. And it was funny because it started to rain hard when I got to the more quote-unquote bad episode, so I think that's really ironic. So, I think I'm just gonna let you guys go there. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my opinion. Like I said, it'll probably change later on. But we got Season 1 done. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!